what's up? It's Danielle. So for today's video, I'm going to take you through the updates in both of my planners. Yes, I am back in the Arc Mini. Very exciting stuff. So I'm going to try to get through this one as fast as possible because I feel like a majority of the changes have actually been in my Arc Junior. So in case you're new here, hi, first of all. But if you're new here, this is a DIY planner that I actually made myself. And if you're interested, I do have a couple of other videos on it just so that you can kind of see how everything has progressed. I'm using the plastic 1.25 inch diameter discs on here. I didn't feel like buying any more of the metal ones because it's like 20 bucks for one pack. So I couldn't really justify spending that, especially on planners, but you know, I probably could justify that. But anyways, this will generally stay with me all the time, like especially when I go anywhere outside of my apartment. I do not take this with me to work though, because I find that I get kind of distracted. So I don't really want that to happen, especially when I'm at work. I have a different system set up for that kind of stuff. But anyways, I'm just going to start with the Arc Mini. So the reason why I decided to go back to the Arc Mini is because I felt like I was so much more organized when I was in it versus just using the Arc Junior. So it hasn't really changed a whole lot. There's certain things about it that have, but essentially everything is the same as before. I have these Post-its that were from a sugar paper company Post-it thing, like a little set that they came out with last year at Target. This is a free printable from the Planner Spot. And then I made this pocket. So I have like a couple of stickers in here, some stamps, little quotes and things like that. I do have some full adhesive Post-its just because I find that when I'm on the run, I always am able to use them somehow. And then I have this, which I know is not a new concept to a lot of us, but for me, I tend to be very harebrained when I go into my planners, and sometimes I just need like a no-nonsense approach. So that's why I put this in here. This is not the same one that you'll see in my Arc Junior, so just throwing that out there. But my first section is kind of like a weekly, monthly. So this is just a Project Life card. It's still the same as last time. Hasn't really changed, but this is what my weeklies look like. This has, in case you couldn't tell, a very bullet journal feel to it because it's really difficult for me to print anything 3x5. And I actually had somebody comment on one of my last videos that I showed this, asking if these were 2x5. They're not, they just look smaller because they are punched. So trust me, these are 3x5. Just, you'll have to take my word for it. But I still have the same stuff on my weeklies. So like a note section and then a section for like next week. And then this is what my monthly looks like. And I just want to include something right now. I only use the Pilot Friction pen on my monthlies, and that applies to both my Arc Mini and my Arc Junior because things tend to change a lot, which we all know is bound to happen. And I'm very much a perfectionist. So if it doesn't look the way that I want it to, then I'll completely redo everything. So this kind of prevents me from being like that. So I have my December highlights, which I actually need to add to that. And then I have the month of January ready to go. I need to add a couple of things in here. So this is just a list of when I have bills due. Have a basic weekly to-do list. Like this is the stuff I do every single week. I don't have stuff like clean my bathroom or clean my kitchen on here because I think those are kind of like no-brainers. And then I have all of my goals for 2019, which I have started on already in here. So they're split from annual all the way down to daily, and I did that just so that I can work on it just a little chunk at a time, but still kind of see what I want the end result to be. So this section is kind of like my daily section. I still have the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule for anxiety and depression. Actually works pretty well. And then I have an urgent area right here, which I guess is not entirely that urgent because I was supposed to do this like a month ago, but I finally did it today, so that counts, right? And then this is what my dailies look like. So my dailies in here match up with the ones that you see in my ARC Junior. So actually, I'm just gonna take a little bit of time right now and just highlight some of these. I didn't do everything on this list, but I did a majority. Just kidding, I only did like a handful, but better than nothing. And then I have this triangular paper clip that I got last year, I think from like TJ Maxx or Marshall's, something along those lines. And then I like to keep some extra grid note cards in here. These are not really meant for me to just start setting up another day. It's more so just like for notes and things like that. So this section is like a RAM dump, note section, kind of just whatever reference. So I have a list of things that I need to buy. This is like random things that I don't purchase a lot, like stamps. And then this is my actual RAM dump right now. And then I put this in before I actually started pursuing my master's, but I have this out, you know, because I was like, oh, I don't know what I need to do at this point, but I have figured out a lot more of this, and I'm actually studying for the GMAT right now. And then I put some deadlines in here as well, just because if I don't do that, I tend to just let things fall by the wayside, and then I kind of, you know, I don't know, I go in and out with things, so I'm trying to hold myself accountable a little bit more, but this does not include anything for work. Have some Happy Mail ideas. This is like a page where I'll put like a post-it, and if I am in the mood to like go explore around, you know, the areas that I live near, I can just have like whatever the store or restaurant is, and yeah, it's just something that gets me out of the apartment, you know. And then my monthly bucket list, which I've been terrible. I haven't made gingerbread or gingerbread cookies because I keep forgetting to get molasses. And then this is a list of places that I need to go to / go back to when I go to Poland. And then I have my current crochet projects because my memory is absolute trash and I can't ever remember what I'm making. And crochet project like patterns I have in here as well, and the names of some skeins of yarn because I can't remember. If you guys have seen how much yarn I have, you'll understand. Or if you're into crocheting, you'll understand too. Regularly purchased grocery items. I have a recipe for a Korean dish that I really want to make. And then different types of plastics that you can and cannot recycle. I like to be nerdy like that, I guess. And then this, which doesn't really belong in here. I should really put this with work stuff, but I like to just look at it. So these are all the different types of management styles. And my favorite thing to do is to kind of think about the people that I know from work and like pinpoint their different management styles. I don't know, I think it's interesting because it also says a lot about their personalities and things like that. So I don't know, just something fun and nerdy that I like to do. And then I have this, which is kind of like a guide for my old inserts that were planner pad inspired. And then in the back, I just have blank note cards, so blank ones and then like blank grid, just so that I can add to my daily, weekly, or whatever and plan on the go if I need to. So that being said, let's get into my favorite planner, which is my ARC Junior. So I am still using a mild liner. You guys know I love these things. I have them in like every single color, so I just swap out the colors as I see fit. And then I'm currently using a Pilot G2 in the 0.7 nib. I tend to fluctuate with these in terms of the nib size, but right now I guess I'm favoring 0.7. So this is my dashboard. It's just Hello Kitty with a little mouse and a cute little Christmas tree that I made last year. This is my baby cat, Mochi Lorenzo. He's actually coming to live with me starting next week. So I just bought all the stuff for him and I'm so excited. I'm so happy. He's my little honey badger. And then I also added this in. This is a picture of the Badlands in South Dakota. I haven't been there in like 13 years, but I want to go back so badly. It's honestly one of my favorite places ever. So this is just kind of a reminder that I need to start planning that, and also that I want to go back. And then this is my other Start Here page, which, like I said, is different from the other one that you saw. Have a sticker patch right here, which is actually from Staples. I had no clue that they sold these, but this is what that sticker patch is from. So you got 2 eyes, you got a pair of lips, and then a little speech bubble that says yes. And then this is probably my favorite. You got like a little pizza with hearts on it, cute little bottle of soda, a little pineapple with a face on it, and then you have a thing of fries that says potato, which is how I feel about myself a lot of the time. Potato! I have my channel art as always, because you guys know I love it. So first section is my inbox, and this is where I keep my to-do list, my RAM dump, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, this also has like my urgent page or urgent part, whatever. So, oops, I gotta highlight it on there too. So, like I said, this is obviously stuff that I need to do first, which I should really get a different name for it, but whatever. And then this is what I like to call my Do It Doug section, which is actually a quote from one of my favorite movies, Mallrats. And then I have just a blank piece of grid paper, just if I need, you know, more room or like notes or whatever. This next section is my current state of the union / how you doing section. And this is kind of like, I don't know, I guess the best way to put it is it's sort of like therapy / a way for me to reminisce about certain things. So I have this is the How You Doing page, and this is split up between weekends and then days that I work. So basically it's like in chunks, and it kind of allows me to think back on what happened, you know, and I can put in things that were really good, things that were really bad, and everything in between, whatever I'm feeling for that moment. And then at the bottom, I have last week versus this week, and then it's the same thing on the back. And then I like to kind of compare like week to week, month to month, just to kind of see how I'm feeling. And then this is my current state of the union page, which I actually got the idea for this from a book series that I used to read in middle school called The Click. So that girl, she always had like current state of the union, and it was always like what she was feeling or like what was going on at the time. So I kind of just went with that, and I elaborated a little bit. So things I'm unsure about, things I'm hopeful about, what I'm trying to do, what I'm tired of, what I'm excited about, what I'm enjoying, what I'm wishing for, what the weather is like right now, what I want in this exact moment, my favorite song for that period of time or that moment, something that inspires me, something I'm gonna work on. And then on the back, something that makes me cry, my favorite quote of the moment, what I miss right now, what I'm currently obsessed with, what I'm determined to do, and then words of encouragement to myself. So again, this is kind of a way for me to reminisce and kind of compare like month to month, you know, how I was feeling. I tend to do these the middle of the month just because, I don't know, sometimes like when it's the beginning of the month, it's like you're so pumped because it's a new month, you know what I mean? Like when you're in the middle, it's really like when you're in the thick of everything. So this next section is my monthly / yearly section. I got this as a free download, free printable, whatever, from Filofaxy. And I saw a bunch of other free printables for 2019 calendars, but I liked this one the most because it doesn't have a lot of crap on it. So I put 2 stickers on here myself. These are both from the Mambi sticker book. So get it, girl, which I admittedly say a lot, and then this is your year. So on here, I'm probably just gonna track like my periods and everything like that, just with like a mild liner. And then this is what the month of December looks like for me. So you can tell I have done a little bit more decorating than I normally would do because this is like my favorite time of year. So I don't really have a whole lot going on this page. Just the basics, like I have, you know, like when there's a solstice, holiday party, when I'm going home, like bills, you know, all the big stuff. And then right here, these are just my monthly, what are they? Part of my monthly bucket list. And then just some notes. And then this sticker actually has all of my monthly goals on it so that I don't forget and so that I stay on top of it. And then I do have all of 2019 in here ready to go. And this one, you know, this is how I like to pre-plan. I'll just put a post-it on here first, kind of write in the things that I know, and then just kind of go from there. Okay, so now we get into my daily weekly section. I have a quote by Chester Karras, who is like the guru, if you will, for negotiating in business. And then this is my 2019 goals, but you can see it's all laid out with this cute little kitty sticker that I got for my birthday. And then this, I think you guys have seen, I can't remember. You guys know I have a bad memory. So this kind of has like different reminders and things like that, tasks, whatever. So these are my categories that I go off of every single week when I'm planning. And then these are my weekly to-dos, monthly to-dos. I have some notes down here. And then these are all the things that I need to keep track of on a regular basis. And then these are kind of like a mishmash. Like they're daily and weekly. So I think you guys have seen a lot of these before, but the 3 new ones are mail call, weekly budget, and TED-A-Day. So mail call, I don't know if you guys ever watched that, but I did watch that a lot as a kid. I loved Arlie Ermy. And it was, like I said, one of my favorite shows. So I absolutely detest getting mail because it's always bills or it's always like coupons for places I never go to or that I would never dream of buying stuff from. And mail is just not fun. I think we all know this. When you're an adult, mail is not fun. So when I grab my mail, I bring it up the stairs and I put it in a letter tray that I have that is specifically designated for mail. And if I have a bill, like I'll open it right then and there. And if it's urgent enough, I'll pay it right then and there. But for the most part, I'll open it and then I'll leave it in the letter tray. So what I do is like 2 or 3 times a week, I'll go back to that letter tray and I'll sort through everything in it. So like bills that need to be paid, like receipts, I also have in there for everything that I buy. And then on top of that, I also recycle and shred, you know, anything that needs to be. So weekly budget, which kind of goes along with this down in the notes. I try to review my weekly budget every Monday. And then TED-A-Day, is just me watching an episode of TED Ed on YouTube, here on YouTube, because I figure even if I don't have time to read or something else like that, I can at least keep my mind, you know, entertained in an educational way by watching one of those awesome TED Ed videos. I have a laminated piece of plastic in here that just has a white post-it on there, which I was thinking about buying these a long time ago, but I'm so glad that I did, because I actually really cannot stand colored post-its anymore, especially not in my planner. And I love how I say that, but there's one in here, but it was mainly just to call attention to it. And I already bought all these things, so I can just throw that out. So I am using the 8 Lotus Daily Weeklies, and I shared this with you guys, I think like a little while ago, maybe like a couple months ago now. So this is what my daily looks like for today. So I have priorities, I have my to-do list, and then appointments, cute little Christmas puppy. And then self-care. I really, really love this aspect of these inserts because personally, I tend to forget to take care of myself quite a bit. And mainly that's because I'm always attending to the needs of others. And then I have a cute little Christmas cowie. And there's a spot for meals, but I haven't really eaten today. So, oops. But anyways, that's what my dailies look like. Some days a little bit more filled than others. This is what my weekly looks like. And like I said, sometimes more filled up than others. So cute little fat Santa right here. And then it is a Monday start. So I have gone back to Monday starts and I really do like it. So just stuff like GMAT prep. And then I had to buy everything for my baby cat, which I did today. And I actually don't need to print out my itinerary. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the app. And then, oh, I never cleaned my bathroom. Oops. And I haven't done GMAT prep today. Oops. But anyways, my mom is getting surgery this week. And I was trying to be home for that, but because I'm not going to get into that because it makes me really angry, but pretty much, long story short, I wasn't able to get the days off that I wanted. So go figure. But we are having like a holiday lunch at work with pastelillos, which if you don't know what they are, I believe they're Puerto Rican. I mentioned this in a video like a couple weeks ago, I think around Thanksgiving, but pastelillos, if you guys have never had them, go try some because they're amazing. It's basically like an empanada, but I don't really know the difference because I've never actually had an empanada. So anyways, I'm leaving to go home on Sunday, so that's why you see these stickers here. These are both from one of the Mambi sticker books that I have. I was so excited I was able to use this finally. And then habit tracker, which actually I need to cross more of that off. So there we go. And then just like a little note section. So I've really, really been loving these 8 Lotus inserts. And I don't really see myself using anything else anytime soon. So this is what a day last Wednesday looked like. I have a couple of other old ones in here, which is pretty interesting because I don't really tend to keep older inserts. You guys know I love to like rip them out and throw them out or recycle them. So I'm just doing that now. So this is one of the bigger changes, I guess you could say. I have started using my old inserts to pre-plan my weeks. And if you haven't been with me for that long, I used to use these inserts, which are pretty much based off of the planner pad system. So basically what you do is you have different categories up here, and then you have like certain things, like certain to-dos under those categories. And then basically you can like pick and choose which ones you want to do on which days. And then at the very bottom, like you have a list, like a little spot for your appointments. So I have really found that this has been super duper helpful because my brain still tends to think like this, even though my inserts are completely different. So it just helps me to stay on top of a lot of different things. And I think I'm going to continue doing it because, like I said, it's actually really helpful. The only problem is that this is a Sunday start, so whatever. This is also an old insert, and that one is too. And this is also old, but can't remember if I shared this with you guys, but I do have some meal planning pages in here. So just goes from Sunday to Saturday. Again, I got to change the file. So this is where I write down the meal ideas that I have or meals that I want to make for the week. And then I do like an ingredient breakdown right here. And I specify whether I have it on hand, which is OH, or TB, which is to buy. So moving on, I have more than a couple of pages of weeklies. I have a ton of dailies in here as well. More of the meal plan pages, which if you guys remember, my printer was being weird. I fixed it. It was the ink cartridge. There was like a chunk of plastic that was like messing it up. I do have some blank grid pages just for notes or whatever. And then I have all of my older planner pages. All right. This section is kind of like for notes, reference, ram dump. You guys get the idea. So this says Chirmai Golna Radarche, which means keep it on the radar. So this does include some things that pertain to work. For the most part, it doesn't, but I find that it really does help if I, keep some of it on here. And then just like other stuff, personal things. Have another copy of my 2019 goals. And then I have my list of posts for YouTube. So I haven't updated this in like a month. Oops, I need to get on that. And then this is a list of like holidays for 2019. I have an affiliate code and then just some blank pages like for notes and whatever. This is from what I used to do bullet journaling in this planner. I have my No Te Olvides page, which is like things I don't want to forget. So stuff like getting my pilot's license, the type of gun that I want to try to do skydiving certification, concealed carry license, and then I said green belt certification, but I would really rather have like black belt certification. And I'm not talking about karate in case you guys are wondering, or taekwondo. It's like a business thing in case you were not aware. And then I just have all of my ram dump pages in here. And that is everything. So there are a couple of things that I cannot share on camera with you guys because it's a little too personal. But let me see. What didn't I show you from the Arc Mini? Basically just like places that I want to visit, like that are near me, near my apartment. And then a page called Pomshil Ochim, which means think about it. So, things that I want to try to do. I had my Christmas card list in there as well. And then what my personal management style is like. Some notes that I had, which actually I can probably throw that out. And then I also have my work to-do lists. And then out of the Arc Junior, I have the current State of the Union that I did for December. I have a last year versus this year page. So again, doing that as like a monthly thing, just to kind of see how things have changed. And then I have one of those how you doing pages that's filled out completely. And then just a bunch of, let's see, a bunch of addresses for places I want to try / go to around here. All of my different medications and vitamins that I take. And then also another copy of my work to-dos. So anyways, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed looking into what I'm currently going with in my planners. But anyways, I apologize for this taking forever for me to post. I have been kind of busy and I'm trying to branch out and like hang out with friends, and I'll get into that at some other point. But I'm also trying to prep for GMAT and everything else. So anyways, thank you guys for being so understanding, but I also wanted to make sure I had enough content so that you guys weren't like, well, you only changed like one thing. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, maybe got some ideas from it. I do not like to do 2019 or like year specific setups because I think of my planners as like ongoing. So that's just a personal preference. Just throwing that out there. But hopefully you got a little bit of inspiration from these. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye guys.